There is one unbreakable rule in Final Fantasy XIV. A player's life in this game is a cycle. If you started playing this game as a casual player and decided to continue playing, you will eventually choose a specialty from your skill tree and become either a raider or a role player. Now, if you started playing this game as a sweaty gamer who likes to raid, smack scary bosses and steal their lunch money, you will eventually become a role player and probably work in a venue called Catboy Hooters or something like that. If you started this game as a role player who's in it for the storytelling, dice rolling, and imaginary slashing down of the monsters, then you'll be like me. Hi, it's AvyCat. I like pain, apparently. 7 years ago during a summer break, I was really bored. I needed a crumb of entertainment in my life, so I made a Google search. I was craving some text-based roleplay, something I've done with my friends in the past. So I searched for MMORPGs with active roleplay communities, and there it was, the not yet critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV. Being a casual player in this game was more than enough for me for years. I hang out with my friends, I did some dungeons, collected glamours, mounts, pets, I roleplayed. Life was good, life was cozy. Too cozy. So I decided to give myself emotional damage, also known as Party Finder rating. Some of you might be asking, Avy, why would you do that to yourself? Well, that's not what I planned to do initially. I made a promise to myself that I would push myself out of my comfort zone this year, and that meant I will give endgame rating in Final Fantasy XIV a chance this expansion. Unfortunately, I didn't think one small detail. I'm a European playing on North American servers, which means a lot of scheduling issues with other players. So yeah, that's how I condemned myself to Party Finder rating in the first place. Yikes, I know. Getting into endgame rating as a baby reader in the Party Finder was an experience. The entire thing felt like a social experiment. It felt like I was a lab rat injected with a little dose of stupid dropped into a cage with other rats who are also injected with stupid. That cage is called the Party Finder, and in that cage we were thriving. Strangely enough, it wasn't as scary as I thought it would be even as a brand new raider. I was actually super nervous, and it's natural to feel nervous. I'm sure some of you guys can relate to me. This is endgame rating, so you are expected to know what you're doing. You should feel comfortable playing the job you are playing. You should at least know the kind of role you are filling up in your group. So you naturally question yourself, do I feel confident? Do I think I can do this? If that's the only thing keeping you from raiding in this game, don't let that happen. Don't listen to those voices, cause let me tell you this. Playing on Party Finder will actually give you a confidence boost, and that's not even because you are a good player. Let's be honest, you probably are not. Once you start Party Finder raiding, you will realize something very important. Oh, I'm not the only one who suck at this game. Awesome. I feel so happy right now. No one in the Party Finder learning parties knows what they are doing. There are some exceptions, of course. I was not the exception in this case. Or this case. Or this case. Or this case. Way too many cases, honestly. I'm not very proud of it. I was just as equally silly. In most parties, unless you are doing a blind run, you are expected to see a guide first. And there are some really good raid guides out there. They are so helpful. They are so detailed. However, that doesn't mean my brain can retain all that information. I can barely remember the last time I used a Fantasia, and I use it weekly. Watching a raid guide is just not enough for most people. Most people need to build up that muscle memory for each fight. If you're like me, you probably need to get slapped around a little bit to learn something properly. So you will die, and you'll die a lot. I unfortunately need to get smacked by the same mechanic at least 20 times before I learn how to resolve it. And trust me, it's not something I do intentionally, even though I want that horse lady to step on. During my very scientific research, I learned there are 3 types of Party Finder players. The stinkers, the an actual god. Allow me to explain. I'll start with the cause that's the category I myself am in. These players have a brain full of soup, so whenever they move around, they make that noise of not much going on up there, it's all panic, no disco. Despite the consistency of their brains, however, they try their best, and that's what we love about them. They do want to get it clear, but they are also aware they are playing a video game. They don't take things too seriously. They are kind to others, they are fun to be around. They really are not the best players at all, and they are painfully aware of it. These are the types of players that you will wipe to the same mechanic 20 times, and at the end of the day, you will feel okay about it. I would say 90% of the raiders in the Party Finder are this type type of players. Then there are stinkers. We don't like stinkers. Not only they themselves stink, but they also like to stink up the vibes in the party. These are the kinds of players who type a question mark or ... in the chat after a single wipe. They will yell at their party mates for messing up a mechanic, and in the next poll they will fail the same mechanic themselves. And then they will proceed to blame other people for it. In their heads, these players are the best players ever. They are mommy's precious baby, they can do no wrong. In reality, they are not only mean, but they also suck most of the time. Like, if these players were actually good at the game, then respect, go off king. Spit on us, my lord, as long as we get a clear. But they really are not, which makes it even harder to tolerate them. And then there are gods. These players are rare spawns. They will spawn only on the weekly reset days, and then they will disappear. You won't see them very often in the party finder because they get their weekly reclears and just call it a week. These players are so insanely good at this game that they can carry you no matter how heavy your cheeks are. And strangely enough, I have never met a single person who is insanely good at this game who is also mean to other players. I'm not saying there's a correlation, but there might be a correlation between anger issues and skill issues. Party finder rating can and will break you on its own though. One of the pet peeves I've developed in the party finder is when people join your party without actually reading the description. There are multiple strategies you can use in each fight, so the players like to put which strategy they are using in the recruitment description. One small problem though, we don't like reading in the party finder. We don't believe in words, we don't like letters, icky. So even though people join your party, everyone's gonna do a different strategy and your whole party is gonna explode.
I thought this was a farm party.
Dude, it's a fresh learning party. Why would you join us? I literally put that in the description for your feline eyes to perceive. If you were able to create a Square Enix account to play this game in the first place, I'm pretty sure you should be able to read a simple description too. Party Finder rating is known for its memes, and yes, it is memeful. But there are some things I really like about Party Finder rating too. I genuinely think rating in the Party Finder makes you a better player. Hear me out, I know it sounds insane. When you start rating in the Party Finder, you learn to no longer rely on your raid leader's shot calls. There's not much planning or communication in the party finder. Because you are raiding with random people, there usually is no voice chat. That means you actually need to use your eyes and brain to determine where the next safe spot is. You learn how to read the fight for yourself without relying on other people. It is definitely harder, but it makes you a better player in the long run. It feels like riding a bike without training wheels. It's a really nice challenge. I can say this as a person who was completely new to Final Fantasy XIV endgame raiding. It helped me a lot. I learned how to read the fights for myself. I learned how to react in time. I learned how to see the future and react even earlier at times. Because I'm a European player and I play with high latency. I'm pretty sure I squeezed out a few new brain cells while learning those fights. Was it worth suffering in the party finder though? I don't know about that one. What do you guys think? All I know is that I had so much fun raiding in Final Fantasy XIV for the first time, and that's what matters to me the most. I wanted to share my baby raider experiences with you guys, because I know there might be some of you who want to get into endgame raiding but afraid. Don't be afraid of fun times. Yes, it's challenging, it's true, but it is worth a try. You might like it. You might lose or gain a few brain cells, but you might like it. I'm not sure if I'll be party finder raiding in the future tiers, but I will definitely keep raiding. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked it, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And with a special thanks to my sweet channel members. I love your guts, and I'll see you in my next video. Stay cozy!